What's up, y'all? It's Friday. It's actually my birthday. It's Halloween, whatever that means, but it's my birthday. Anywho, I was just thinking about the time when I was taking my girls to school. We live in Atlanta, so one was going to Atlanta Metropolitan, and then the other one was taking dual classes at Atlanta Area Tech while she was in high school or whatever, but they had to be at school at the same time. And so I'm taking them to school. It's like 9 something in the morning, and I get into like a small accident with this weird dude. Anyway, I park and run inside and ask them to call the police to come, because we had a little accident or whatever, and oh boy was acting crazy because he had a Q car, I had an SUV. Anyway, so let's keep it going. So the police get there and they check in our licenses, our insurance information, all of that, and they get him squared away and they let him leave. Now, it was a female police. She was so nice, but she was like, oh my God, she was like, you have a warrant. And I'm like, what? I had a warrant because I had got arrested for driving unsuspended license because I had missed a court date. So when I got arrested for that, I got out like maybe 2 hours later. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't that long. I was at College Park. I got out, but I didn't, when I went to court, I was like, I don't have no $500, $600 for the ticket or whatever. So I got put on probation. So I used to go to my probation officer, but at that time I didn't have a job. I had a house, I had kids, I had a car note, but I ain't had no job. So the money I was bringing in was going to my house. I still was like not taking no money to probation. So my probation officer used to look so disappointed. So I was just like, well, I stopped going because it's just like, I don't have no money to give you, so I'm not finna keep coming. All right, so I had a warrant for that because he didn't let me know he was gonna put a warrant on me. He just did. So they took me to Rice Street. They took me to Rice Street, and I was so upset. I'm so upset. But before that, when I was in the car, I had my daughter go through my phone and call my boo at the time to let him know I was being arrested and that I was probably gonna have to pay the rest of what I owed on probation to get out, which was like $450 something. And so he was like, all right, just, send my son to come get it or whatever. And so so I went to jail. I'm so upset. They gave me the cup to to go like do urine or whatever, and I think they wanted to do a shot, and I'm like, no, like I never went back over there. I just held onto my cup and just kind of stayed in this little area where they couldn't see me until they tried to give us some food, which was like a bologna sandwich and Oreo cookies or whatever. But I was like making phone calls trying to see what was going on. I was talking to the deputies that worked there. Some of the guys were teasing me. They was like, what you in here for? A ticket? A speeding ticket? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, listen. So this female was trying to make it seem like I had a real, like I had another ticket that I didn't go to court on for like some kids out of car seats or someone. I was like, that's not me. I said, maybe somebody gave my name when they got in trouble. I was like, but that's not me. And so she was like, well, being that your warrant is in East Point or College Park or whatever, she was like, College Park gonna have to come get you. And she was like, they have up to 48 hours to come and get you. And I'm looking like, so I'll tell you, listen, I've always been a woman of faith, trusting God, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I'm that girl. No matter what I was doing, that's what my foundation always was or whatever, right? So I'm singing You Are My Peace by Juanita Bonham, like under my breath and in my head while I'm sitting around all these women, because I'm like, oh no, heck no, I'm going home. They're gonna come get me, I'm going home. I ain't trying to hear nothing else. I almost broke down when they called me to come get my fingerprints done. I went and got my fingerprints done, and I think I did like shed a tear too, because I'm just like, oh, this is too real. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no, I'm going home. I just kept singing the song, like, you are my peace, you are my peace. But anyway, so I'm in there in that little room with all the girls that's in there, and they was like, yeah, Rice Street don't house women, so I forgot where they were gonna take the women to go to sleep. And I was like, I don't care, because I ain't going. And this girl was like, she was like, what you in here for? And I was like, probation violation. She was like, oh, she said, normally when you do probation violation, that's an automatic 7 days, which I done heard people talk about that and say that, but I'm just like, nah, that's not my portion. Like that don't apply to me. I'm going home. I'm going home. So I waited a little bit longer, kept singing my song, made a phone call or two to make sure my son was able to get the money or whatever. And all of a sudden, they called my name. The police from College Park, they came to get me. The lady had to put her little pink handcuffs on me and take me downstairs. And bro, I was so happy to be getting in that car. So I'm in the car with him, and he was like, he said, you know what? He said, you lucky. He said, because we normally don't come get people this fast. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm so glad, you came to get me. And so we taking the street way to the jail from downtown or whatever, and I'm just singing in my head, you are my peace. My daughter said that's my battle song. my panic song. I was like, whatever. It puts me in a state of mind where, like, no, if I'm at peace, everything has to work out. You know what I mean? If you're worrying, then stuff kind of be like, rah, rah. But so he like, dang, he said your probation officer might give you 7 days. He said you might have to do 7 days here at College Park. That's normally how they do it. And I'm like, I'm singing, because I'm like, no, like I control this. This is what I'm saying in my head. I was like, no. I was like, that's not gonna happen. I'm going home. He was like, we'll see. I hope so. So we get to College Park jail, and they little holding cell situation is so clutch, because it ain't really a cell, it's just an area, and then they got like a cordless phone that they let you just call. You can call as many times as you need to call your people or whatever, because the deputies be cool. And so when I got there and I told the guy what was going on, he was like, get on the phone, hurry up, call your probation officer. He was like, what's his name? Because I didn't know the number, so he found the number. He was like, call your probation officer and talk to him. And I called him, and he was like, who is this? And I was like, it's Dee-Dee, whatever. He was like, where you at? I was like, I'm in jail. He was like, why? I said, what do you mean why? You put a warrant out. I got arrested. He was like, you stopped coming. I said, because I ain't had no money, and you was looking disappointed. He was like, bro, we finna close. He was like, do you have 400 and whatever dollars? I said, if you can wait for my son to get over there, yes, I got it. Yes, I got it. And so my son went over there, paid them, came and got me, and I was able to go home. And I was just like, faith is real, God is real, peace. And listen, if you're a believer and you listen to the Christian music, the songs or whatever, use them. Like, bro, anything that's gonna help you stay in faith to get the results that you want to get. So yeah, that was that. And I haven't been back in trouble since then. I just don't want to be contained, you know what I mean? I like being free. So yeah, that was just a story. That was like I had a Jeep Commander, so that was 2014. Yep. All right.